This is Ruben once again with Ulosophy. If you liked any of my past videos, please subscribe to the channel. Please like or comment on the video. It will be greatly appreciated. Also, I would ask for you to consider visiting our blog. The link it's at the bottom. Visit our blog. Visit our brand new SoundCloud site where you'll be able to hear and download audios where you can take with you anywhere and everywhere you go. So getting this information and taking it with you should be a big advantage for you. Also, our Facebook page, we add powerful quotes on there. We talk about concepts on there. So I would suggest you visit that as well. Also, we have the donation option where if you find this information helpful, if it has helped you, if you find it empowering, there's a lot of things that we want to do to take this information further. And by donating, you help us a lot. So the links are below. If your heart tells you to donate, do it. If not, visit our other pages. All the information is free. We don't charge for anything, but we just ask for donations if it's possible. What I want to talk about today is how everything is made up of energy. Everything in the universe is made up of energy. Scientists are very arrogant. For the longest, they said that the atom was the smallest particle in the universe. That's what they said. For the longest, they said that the atom was the smallest particle in the universe. As time passed, years passed, technology advanced, they discovered that the atom wasn't the smallest particle in the universe. They actually discovered that there's a smaller particle called an electron, and that electron navigates around a nucleus made up of neutrons and protons. So with their arrogance again, they said, well, the smallest particle in the universe is not the atom, but it's the electron. Instead, what they should have been saying is, look, so far with the technology that exists today, the smallest particle we can see up to now is the electron. But scientists are arrogant. They don't say that. They just say it as it is. Technology today has taken another leap. It's much more advanced and is much more ahead than when the discovery of the electron was made. Now, many scientists say that they've went deeper than the electron. They've discovered what's beyond the electron. And they found that there's even smaller particles beyond the electron. Beyond the electron is really just energy vibrating. That's what they found. They found that it's energy or photon matter, some sort of photon vibrating. So that's what they discovered that is beyond the electron. So science tells us that everything is made up of atoms, and those atoms consist of a nucleus with an electron surrounding the nucleus. Everything that has been tested by science has been discovered to be made up of atoms, from even space debris to even moon rocks have been discovered to be made of the same thing, atoms. So if everything is made up of atoms, including you and me, and our organs, and our blood, and our veins, everything, our brain, is made up of atoms, Well, then let's look at what science says. Science says that everything is made up of energy, that beyond the electron is really just photon matter or energy vibrating. That is what's beyond. This explains why, you know, a radio broadcast or a cell phone broadcast, you know, you can receive phone calls inside, for example, an elevator, or you could receive phone calls inside a building when it's totally you're surrounded by matter that's you're covered. How does the radio broadcast or the radio signal frequency passes through solid steel, solid matter? Your cell phone frequency, how does it pass through solid matter, right? Well, that explains it. If everything is made up of energy, the frequency that's being broadcast from your cell phone or the radio, it's energy. And there's, if everything is made up of energy, well, there's nothing solid. There's nothing solid that prevents it from coming in. That explains why we pick up a phone call inside a building, or we could listen to the radio inside a building, right? For the longest, science couldn't explain that. But if this is true, that everything is made up of energy, well, then we have our answer there. Also, another thing that you can consider is, here you have the atom that is made up of a nucleus and an electron surrounding that nucleus. It surrounds it. It navigates. What makes the electron navigate? What makes the electron move? What makes the electron surround and stay close to the nucleus? Think about it. The electron is a separate particle. The nucleus stands still, but the electron surrounds it. What makes it move? What makes it, you know, navigate? Well, energy. Energy. Think about it. So if you don't believe that everything beyond the electron is just energy vibrating, then you could definitely agree with me. What makes the electron move around the nucleus? What's energy? Energy. And everything is made up of energy. Everything, it's nothing is solid. Everything is just energy vibrating. It's just the frequencies that are different that makes it appear as solid when it's really not. It's just the frequency. Some are higher, some are lower than others. And that's the reason why this wall is made up of the material it is made of, and this is why the bed is made up of the material it's made of, the couch, the windows, your skin. Just different frequencies. But everything is just energy, nothing is solid. So if this is the case, that everything is made up of energy, then that explains prayer or the law of attraction. Science has proved that our brains are receivers and transmitters of frequency. Thomas Edison and Albert Einstein said that. They discovered that. They said that at the end of the century, that the brain, the human brain, is a transmitter and receiver of frequency. And it has been proven scientifically that this is true. And it has also been proven that our frequencies that come out of our brains when we think a thought or we feel an emotion actually affects physical matter. It has been scientifically proven. For example, they put a bar of gold. They have a human subject send frequencies or to the gold, and they see on the molecular level, they see that the frequency of the gold changes. For those of you who haven't seen the movie, I would suggest you see the movie. What the bleep do we know? In that movie, one of the most famous experiments that proved this to be true was talked about in that movie, and that was, I think it was a Japanese scientist. he he got several jars of water, right? On one jar, he would put a positive message. For example, I love you, or you're wonderful. On another jar of water, he would put a negative comment. For example, I hate you, or I want to kill you. So he put these these notes on the water, and he would he would leave them in one place, and people would, when they would see the jar, for example, when they see the positive comment, they think about the positive comment. Does they send the positive frequency to the water? The same thing with the negative water. They see the negative comment, they they feel a negative way because they're thinking about what's being said, so the water receives that negative energy. He then freezes the water, and then a microscope, he could see the crystallization of the water, of the positive water and quote the negative water. What he discovered is that the positive water had this beautiful crystallizations, these beautiful markings, this beautiful crystallization of the water when it was frozen. But he also discovered that the negative, the one that had the negative comment, the jar of water, when it was frozen, its crystallization was ugly and very un unpatterned. It was very like distraught, very scratchy, very very bad looking compared to the beautiful crystallization that the positive water had. Well, this explains prayer, right? This explains why, for example, I always told my mother when I was young, I always had a thought, or I always thought about, you know, well, how fast does the prayer gets? Because I would see my mother at night always praying, and I would think like, well, she's praying for my grandpa and she's praying for other family members. My grandpa lives in another country. My other family members are like miles away. How fast do they receive the prayers? And I remember thinking stuff like that as a kid, and I would tell my mom, and she said, I remember what she told me. She said, well, they receive it instantly. They receive the prayer instantly, right? The positive frequency from you, they receive it instantly. Well, that explains it. Everything is made up of energy. Your brain is a broadcaster and a receiver of frequency. That explains prayer. That explains how the law of attraction says like attracts like. Your thoughts, you think about a certain car or a certain material object, you think about it in the way that you want it. Does you're sending that frequency every time you think about it or you feel a certain way about it, and the frequency is I want it, I have it, or I need it. Thus it comes your way. It's like attracting it. It's like calling it forward. That is why we talk about here in Ulosophy how whatever you dream about, whatever your wish is, that wish is at your command. You command it. That also could explain the biblical scripture that says you have not because you ask not. If you want something, ask for it, right? Ask and it is given. It's another great book that explains it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make a donation if you really like the videos, if you really found this information helpful. We're trying to get some events going. We're trying to release several other information in book format so you could have an actual book, and there's a lot of things on the board that we want to do. But finances are needed. So if you find this information helpful, the link is below. Donate $5. That's a cup of coffee. Whatever you feel is right. In the future, working on actually offering certain promotions. For example, if you donate a certain amount of money, you'll get a reward, you know, from it. From anything from having a phone conversation with me or a coaching session with me where we could talk about the concepts in philosophy or anything that may be going on in your life, and maybe I can give you an advice, or you could have somebody to talk to that could really understand where you're coming from and maybe give you some advice as well. Or if you have any questions, you want to ask me about anything, we can talk about it as well. Another thing, I will be coming out with a certain VIP email subscription. And in that VIP email subscription, you're going to get audios, you're going to get written material on more advanced concepts. So once I get done and, and put out all the basic concepts, I will offer through the VIP subscription more advanced material that goes beyond it. Because, like I said, this material never stops. The learning process never stops. You can go deeper and deeper and deeper. It's like the universe. You will never get to that plateau or that stop, right? So a lot of things going on. I will be releasing my book in the future. I've already finished it. I'm already starting on my second book, which I'm writing, and I'm really happy with the way it's turning out. So I can't wait for you guys to read my first book that I've already written. More info on that, you know, in the future. And my second book is just gonna be even more awesome. So a lot of things on the board, a lot of things that are projected to come, to be, and the donations help a lot. So we could get this going, and we can, maybe start having events throughout several cities in the country. And I could be in a city near you and talk about this information in a live setting, as I talked about how when you listen to this information, it hits a certain part of the brain. When you watch this information in a video like you're doing right now, it's hitting another part of the brain. When you read this information, it's hitting another part of the brain. And when you see it live, when you hear it and see it live, it hits another part of the brain. We're trying to hit every single part of the brain with this information so you can really grasp this information. That is the goal, for you to get to unconscious competence with this information. So, like I said, the donations help, and a lot of the projects we have planned can come, to be with your help. Also, I would suggest you visit our blog. There's a lot of written information on there. So it's like the videos, but in written form. Like I said, you're hitting a certain part of the brain when you read it. When you read the information, you're hitting a certain part of the brain. So reading it is very important. Visit our blog. There's much information on there, and all this information is free and it's so helpful. I should be charging for this information, but I'm not. I believe this information should be free, and for a lot of information, it has taken me years to learn this information. I was introduced to this information in my teens, so it has taken me years, and buying products, buying subscriptions, buying books, buying time to talk to certain people who know this information, or going to their seminars. I've spent my money, I've spent a lot of time learning this information, and you're getting it for free. I should be charging for it, but I'm not. That is why the donation option is also available. I would also have you consider visiting our Facebook page, where we had plenty of good, powerful, small messages on there. Visit our SoundCloud page, which we just had open, and the first audio it's on there. It's the first edition of the Ulosophy audios, and there'll be a second edition, third edition as time goes on and on and on. You can download this audio and take it with you anywhere and everywhere. Or you could listen to it on the SoundCloud app, and you could take that anywhere and everywhere as long as you have a mobile phone. Or you could download it and put it either in your phone or your iPad, whatever you choose. Um, and that's it. Thank you for watching this video. Consider all the options Ulosophy has to offer. See you guys next time.